Today's lesson is about recording macros. It won't include recording macros in the personal macro workbook. That will be a future lesson. So let's have a look at this particular file here. It's a record of customer tickets received, resolved, the handling time, how many escalations there were, the resolution rate, etc. You can see all the fields there, so you get the context. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert this table to a range so we can take out all the fancy looking stuff. And then of course part of the macro will be including the creation of the format as table or the formatting as table. So what we're going to do is just apply the format painter to make it look really boring. Okay, so I'm going to apply format painter. Could have used Control Shift arrow, but I'm just dragging it down. There we go. Right, so looking very boring. So the macro is going to be a simple macro saved in this workbook, but there will be more exciting and far more involved macros later, including the conversion using Grok 3. That's fascinating. So let's look at the developer tab. That if the developer tab is not available, you need to go through to the file tab and you need to activate options. At the bottom there, right at the bottom, you'll see my magnifying glass there. There we go, right at the bottom, and we need to go to customize ribbon and activate the developer ribbon. Let's go. There, mine is activated, of course. You need to activate yours. Good. Let's click on OK. So we're now ready to start recording our macro. There's where we record the macro. Let's go and click on record macro and start recording the macro. This is very simple. This is basic stuff, but wait for later. So here we go. We have to name the macro at the top. Then we have to specify where it's saved, and we also probably have to, possibly should I say, have to assign a particular shortcut key. So look what I'm doing there. I'm naming it and I'm not leaving a space. That is important. Okay, it is important that you do not leave a space. So there's the name, table format. It's saved in this workbook, and I'm not assigning a shortcut key, but I could. Something like, Control XD or something like that. Just be careful because there are other shortcuts. So all I do is I go to Home, I go to Format as Table, and let's choose a very nice design. And we've done that. There it is, formatted as table. Very good. Once again, up at the developer ribbon, we're about now to start recording a new macro that does a conditional format on the satisfaction score column. Let's go and record the macro. And nice, I'm going to call this the conditional formatting macro using my underscore. Nice. Okay, conditional format. Good. Let's go to Home, Conditional Formatting, and I'm going to just choose a less than. Highlight cells less than 4. It defaults to 4.1 because interesting why it does that, but anyway, 4. And I'm actually going to change the format. I don't want it to be red, I want it to be white with black text. So let's go to Custom Format at the bottom there, and we would choose the fill to be white with black text. And the macro is now activated. The conditional format is activated. And the macro has been run. We need to stop recording the macro, and that's what we do up there. Stop recording the macro. Nice. All right, notice my macros, which I've clicked there, include the table format and the conditional format saved in the current workbook. Nice. All right. Now, what we need to do is do a very fancy macro that adds a 15% to the cost to company. And then we're going to modify that macro using a Grok 3, which I still regard as the best AI, but that's a matter of opinion. Let's go. All right, so up in the top right-hand corner, I'm going to add the column there. Let's start recording the macro. The macro is going to add 15% to the cost to company. It's an extra cost. Add extra, I think I call this. All right, we'll check out on the Zoom as well. Let's see what I called it. Add extra. No, I didn't. Okay, so let's go type in the column header, extra, and we put the formula in. Because this is formatted as a table, it's very straightforward. Nice. Equals cost to company, that would be J2 multiplied by 1.15. Nice. And it does it to all the cells, which is very nice. But I want to modify this code. Stop recording first, obviously. All right, stop recording my macro. So my macro now exists. But let's go and modify this code and use Grok to do so. I only want, there we go. So we're going into the Visual Basic Editor. Say module 1, there we go, and the macro, the conditional format one is there, but the add extra one is below. You see that? The modules, there we go. I'm going to select that code. All right, copy it. All right, Control C and copy it, and let's go through to our friends at Grok. All right, and I've done it before. You'll see it in the Grok code already, but I'm going to do it again. There we go. I've already done one, but let's do it again. I'm going to ask a question. And this is how we ask a question. Below is a macro VBA code that converts a column to value plus 15%. I would like to modify this so that it converts only, adds 15% to values less than 30. If the value is below 30, I'll just put in a couple of spaces. If I hit enter, it'll try and answer the question. And I copy paste the code in, and we hit Grok's little magic arrow, and Grok does the code or redoes the code for me. There's the code right up on top there, and we're going to select it and simply replace it. It actually tells you what to do. So you select the code there, copy, Control C, and we get back into the VBA editor and we simply Control V. That's all we do. Boom. Now let's see if this works. That would be really nice if it works. File, go back to Excel. I'm going to delete that column, and let's do it from scratch. Click in the, that's important that you click in the right cell. That's as part of the macro. There we go. And run the macro. Let's run it. See what happens. And indeed, it has done it. Look at the value 30 there on the Northern Cape. It stays 30. But look at the 23. It goes to 26.45.